I do want to do a quick cleanup in here, make these things a priority. Each time I'm decorating this cabinet is a little bit fuller. Hi and welcome back to my channel. It is spring. I mean, not officially, but like it's March, the sun is out. That's all I need to declare winter over. So even though officially spring is not going to start for another 2 to 3 weeks, personally, I generally consider March to be part of spring. So it's spring. And that's also why, for one, I'm coming to you not in my work clothes or from the middle of a project. After weeks of tackling makeover projects, I'm definitely ready for a change of pace this week. In general, I think this week we are going to do everything related to spring, and I couldn't be more excited about it, especially since this week the weather is also really nice. So it's actually the perfect week to be doing this. Now, to give you a better idea of what we are going to do this week, we are going to do some decorating, a few small spring-esque DIYs, and also get started on some of the chores that are awaiting outside. We have not done much in our garden yet, and also like the patio outside of the kitchen. It would be really lovely to get that at least somewhat ready for this upcoming spring and summer season. And currently it has been a dumping ground for a lot of stuff, so I definitely want to do a cleanup there as well. So yeah, I want this video to be a bit more of a relaxing one, so get comfortable and let's get ready for the spring season together. So I got all of my spring decor. Don't be fooled by the size of this box. It's actually mostly empty. I actually do not have that much spring decor, especially when compared to autumn and Christmas. I feel like most people don't decorate for spring, which is also perfectly fine. But I very much love the idea of celebrating each season for what it is and adapting the visuals of your home to that as well. It's something that I enjoy very much, so I do love doing this. Oh, wait. These are actually very important. I mean, I cannot update my decor without my trusty illustration book, so yeah, I guess let's just get started then. I really love the look of these painted eggs. These are actually real ones. Of course, that also means that I have to be very careful when handling them. It will just break if I handle them a bit too roughly, but I think they look pretty awesome. So our very first spring DIY is actually to make candles. To be quite honest, I have always wanted to try this, so I'm actually pretty excited that now the time has arrived. Honestly, that's kind of like the good part about making YouTube videos. These are all things that I always wanted to do, but since they were never a priority, I just kind of like ended up not doing anything. But now that I'm making YouTube videos, I do kind of like have a reason to make these things a priority. So that has actually been pretty great. The only thing you actually need to make candles is something to put your candles in. I did get these small, sweet little pots, candle wicks, and then also some wax and something to melt your wax in. Over the last few years, I have become pretty particular about the fact that I do mostly want to burn beeswax candles. Sometimes I'm also using soy wax. I mean, the only thing I'm actively trying to avoid is paraffin, because paraffin is like a byproduct of the oil industry, and so if you burn it excessively in your home, it will give off unhealthy fumes, and I have actively been trying to avoid that. But again, I'm no expert in this field, so if you want to have more in-depth information on that, I recommend looking up actual reports and sources that can give you a bit more in-depth information on that. This is just me trying to do my small contribution for my own health and also for the local community, because like this beeswax, for instance, I got that from a local bee farmer, so it also has the benefit of supporting small businesses in my area. But I guess it's no secret that the big downside to beeswax is actually its price, because it is very expensive. And that's also why we are only going to do these small candles and not the bigger ones, at least for now. I'll just go to the kitchen and I'm going to heat this in a water bath, and then once it's melted, I'll see you back here for the rest of the candle making. Could definitely be better, especially like the candle wicks. I definitely have to work on my technique for holding that in place, because I don't think that the way to go is to manually hold them in place for 5 minutes. But like for my very first try, I'm actually quite happy with it. Also, I do feel like it does look quite spring-like, so I guess let's decorate the table. To complete the spring decor in my dining room, I decided to update the bows on the candles on my dining room buffet. Currently they are light brown, however I think for spring they need a touch of color. I showed you the same DIY in my autumn decorations video before, however in case you have not seen that, here's a quick recap. Essentially what you want to do is take a ribbon and roughly cut a piece double the length of your candle. If your ribbon is thicker, fold it in half and then place your candle in the middle of your ribbon. What you want to do first is tie a basic knot. Take the end of your ribbon that faces upwards, fold it down towards you and then create a loop. It is important that both ends of your ribbon are now on the same side of the candle. Again, take the ribbon that faces up and fold it down, this time away from you, and pin it in place between your finger and the candle. Finally, take the other end of your ribbon, make a loop, and then push that through the very first loop that you made in the beginning with your other end of the ribbon. Fasten, and just like that, you have your bow. If you want to, you can shorten the leftover ribbon pieces, but personally for spring I like the longer flowy bow ends, so I left them as is. So here we are on our patio, and it is definitely a mess, so I do want to do a quick cleanup in here. We'll probably dedicate a whole video to the makeover of this space, but for now I just want to do a quick cleanup for spring. As you can see, this has been the final resting place for our Christmas tree. I mean, I just kind of cut it down, and the thing is, I did read that you could use the branches of the Christmas tree kind of like as fertilizer for all the plants that do have needles and like more acid soil. So I kind of wanted to use some of these for that, and then like the stem is perfectly straight, so I thought that it would be something that I could reuse in the garden somewhere, but I do not know yet exactly where, so I guess we'll have to see. And then also you can see here's my Christmas wreath. I just took it down over a month ago now, but I never disassembled it, so I do want to do that as well. And then in general kind of like do a quick cleanup here, and I think after that we will also move into the garden. We're not going to do very much in there either yet, but same as here, quick cleanup, a quick reset. So that's the current state, and hopefully by the end of this it's going to look quite a bit more decent. Oh, and also I do think I mention it every time, but I'm going to change this color. Like, it has been an eyesore to me ever since we moved in here, and I do say it every time I show this space, but I'm going to change it, and that's definitely going to happen this spring, so just know that. That the patio is, let's say, acceptable again, we moved into the garden. Here you can see us tour the garden while I inform my boyfriend of all the ideas that I have. No, but seriously, we got pretty lucky with this garden. It has really good bones, which means that we already have a great foundation that we can now build on. Most of the plants will therefore stay, but I do want to add more flowers, create a small vegetable and herb garden, a seating area, and most importantly, more privacy. We are unfortunately very exposed towards our neighbors, and that definitely needs to be changed. One thing we could already tackle right away was get rid of the yucca plant. The inside was actually already rotten, which is why it was pretty easy to get rid of, and the reclaimed space is probably where our herb garden will go. This is actually all I'm going to do here. As you can see, yesterday we did go to the hardware store and I could not resist getting new flowers. I do feel like it was necessary to replace the wilted autumn flowers. I actually only got 2, but I think they do brighten up the space quite a lot. Also, it's very nice to look out the window and see something bloom out here. So yeah, I'm very happy with my finds. While I did not manage to resist buying new flowers, I did manage to resist buying one thing, and that is new seeds. So now, seeds. As you can see, we have quite a lot of them. To be quite honest with you though, most of them are pretty old already. Like, these are things that I collected last year from plants or that were given to me by my sister. Now, I think this is a package of seeds that I bought last year. No, wait. This is the package of seeds that I bought last year. However, since we didn't move in here until June, the best month of the gardening season, especially to start seeds, were already over. So in the end, I did not get to do very much. So I do have quite a lot of seeds left. And then these are actually seeds that are even older. So to be quite honest with you, I'm not putting too much hope into those. But since this year is again a year where we do not have the full garden set up yet, I think I'm just going to use this year kind of like as an experiment. I'm definitely no expert gardener, but I do enjoy gardening quite a bit. However, since I never had a good space to do it, I did attempt gardening a few times. There was one year where I actually created quite a decent garden in my parents' garden. However, I did not manage to do it every year. Some years were pretty busy, so I did not get to do it. Other years I did not live there. The thing is, this is actually the first time that I have like my own proper garden where I can plant whatever and create whatever. So I'm genuinely really excited to get started with gardening. I think I'm just going to quickly go through these and make a bit of a plan. Okay, so I actually have a plan now. The only thing that remains to be seen is how many of my seeds are actually going to grow something. Now my next DIY is actually to paint mushrooms. Painting mushrooms is something you'd probably rather associate with an autumn decorations video, and honestly me too, which is also why I did paint mushrooms for my autumn decorations video. However, I did leave some of my decorative mushrooms out over the winter, and honestly I kind of have grown to like them there. I do feel like the really bright red ones are rather an autumn or winter decoration, so I thought about creating mushrooms that are a bit lighter in color, which is kind of like why I brought the more green and orangey yellow paint colors out here. So I think I'm just going to enjoy the sunshine and then hopefully create some awesome decorations. Each time I'm decorating this cabinet, it is a little bit fuller. I think the most prominent changes from like before are definitely the book series that's at the bottom. The funny part is I did not pay anything for it. Like if you go to the dump sites here, they usually have like a small selection of stuff that people brought in, but they think that those things are actually still perfectly fine. So you can just kind of like go there and pick what you want for free. And that's how I got these books. Something else I got was the plate at the top. I think it's really beautiful and it kind of like matches my gardening books, which is why I put it there, but that was actually at a thrift store. So yeah, I actually did not decorate very much in here for spring. I also took out the lights. The thing is, I would have left them inside, but the one that I have, I mean, I bought it at a really cheap store, so quality is for sure not that great, but also it has like a timer inbuilt, and the only thing that that timer does is suck the energy out of the batteries so quickly. I definitely want to put some sort of light source inside the cabinet, especially in the evenings. That's pretty nice, but I want something that I can manually turn on and off. So I was trying to set up an aesthetic shot in this kitchen. This is the best I could come up with. I mean, don't mind the missing door there. I put some flowers here to kind of compensate for that. Like the patio and the kitchen are going to be our next two makeovers once we are finished with the bedroom, one thing at a time. However, I did want to make muffins in this video. These are orange apple muffins, and honestly, I think they are perfect for spring and summer in general. I do like baked goods, but like during the spring summer season, I do like the baked goods to be a bit more fruity. It is actually quite funny, like the recipe is from a Winnie Pooh book. It's actually not even the real book, it's only the preview that I think we got for free with a magazine, like as kids. I mean, the cookbook is from 2001. We always had two, one for me and one for my sister. And when I moved out, my mom gave me my copy. Like honestly, my Christmas cookie recipe is in here, and also like the muffins that we are currently making. And I do love them quite a lot. So yeah. Now, I do want to say that this is by no means a healthy recipe. Although there's apple and orange in there, the rest is just a regular cake recipe with regular ingredients. Starting off with 200 grams of butter, 185 grams of sugar, 250 grams of flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 4 eggs, the recipe calls for 100 grams of raisins. I used about 60 grams and it's still plenty, so do whatever you like. Mix the raisins with a tablespoon of flour. Finally, wash your apple and orange and then grate the whole apple, followed by the peel of your orange into a bowl. First you want to mix the butter and the sugar, followed by your eggs. Then mix with the flour and baking powder. Add your grated apple and orange peel and then finally the raisins. The recipe says to bake for 15 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius, but from personal experience it may take a little longer. While waiting, I ate the rest of the cake batter. Then the orange whose peel I used. I call this balance. This is also where I realized that I actually used a blood orange instead of an orange. And then I started cleaning up. And just like that, we reached the end of this video. Honestly, after weeks of doing makeovers, I definitely found a lot of joy in taking care of the smaller stuff around the house. If I'm being completely honest, I do enjoy the small stuff such as crafting and decorating, maybe a tad more than building furniture. I mean, I do enjoy both because otherwise I wouldn't do it. But like the bigger things, they do require a lot of get things done energy. And like the smaller things, they are a bit more cozy, a bit more nurturing. So, I mean, like with everything, balance is key. And so, yeah, we did get a lot done this week. I mean, I decorated our main living spaces. I did get some crafts done. I did some baking. I did a good chunk of the planning for our garden and our balcony. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with what we got done this week. If you enjoyed this video as much as I liked making it, then do leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Like always, the only thing left to do is to wish you a wonderful rest of your day and honestly a great start into the spring and summer season wherever you are in the world. And with that, I hope to see you on my next video. Bye!